And good morning again. We begin this morning in Afghanistan, where Senator Barack Obama is on the ground. Lara Logan, our chief foreign affairs correspondent, sat down with him for a long interview this morning. We're going first to her. Lara.
Good morning, Bob. Well, Senator Obama spent his first day in Afghanistan yesterday visiting the troops, talking to soldiers, speaking with their commanders. Today he met privately with President Hamid Karzai of Afghanistan, and he says that after talking to both sides, his assessment is that the situation in Afghanistan is both precarious and urgent. And he said that the U.S. has to start planning to put more troops in Afghanistan now.
I believe U.S. Troop levels need to increase, and for at least a year now, I've called for 2 additional brigades, perhaps 3. I think it's very important that we unify command more effectively to coordinate our military activities. But the military alone is not going to be enough. The Afghan government needs to do more, but we have to understand that the situation is precarious and urgent here in Afghanistan, and I believe this has to be our central focus, the central front on our battle against terrorism.
Why does it have to be the central front? What is so critical to U.S. interests here?
This is where they can plan attacks. They have sanctuary here. They are gathering huge amounts of money as a consequence of the drug trade in the region. And so that global network is centered in this area. And I think one of the biggest mistakes we made strategically after 9/11 was to fail to finish the job here, focus our attention here. We got distracted by Iraq. And despite what the Bush administration has argued, I don't think there's any doubt that we were distracted from our efforts not only to hunt down al-Qaeda and the Taliban, but also to rebuild this country so that people had confidence that we were here to stay over the long haul, that we were going to rebuild roads, provide electricity, improve the quality of life for people. Now we have a chance, I think, to correct some of those errors. There's starting to be a growing consensus that it's time for us to withdraw some of our combat troops out of Iraq, deploy them here in Afghanistan, and I think we have to seize that opportunity. Now's the time for us to do it. I think it's important for us to do is to begin planning for those brigades now. If we wait until the next administration, it could be a year before we get those additional troops on the ground here in Afghanistan, and I think that would be a mistake. I think the situation is getting urgent enough that we've got to start doing something now.
What would be mission accomplished for you in Afghanistan?
Well, mission accomplished would be that we have stabilized Afghanistan, that the Afghan people are experiencing rising standards of living, that we have made sure that we are disabling al-Qaeda and the Taliban so that they can no longer attack Afghanistan, they can no longer engage in attacks against targets in Pakistan, and they can't target the United States or its allies.
So losing is not an option?
Losing is not an option when it comes to al-Qaeda, and it never has been. And that's why the fact that we engaged in a war of choice when we were not yet finished with that task was such a mistake.